Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to do a review on this 2002 Toyota Tarago, or a review update for people that have seen past reviews. Had it for 5.5 years now, almost going on 6 years I guess in September, and I still really like the car. Hasn't given me much problems. I might start out with these tires. Update on these tires are I still like them. They've got 25,000 kilometers on them since I last got them. They're EP 300s. So they're still wearing really well. I've rotated them twice. Still got a fair amount of tread on them. I'll show you the back ones. Some of the things I've replaced lately have just been light bulbs, like reverse backup light bulbs, third brake light bulb. I am pretty amazed that these struts are still working. This car is almost 19 years old now, and the struts are still lifting the tailgate up. These seat covers are now 5 years old, and while the back two are still working well, the front driver's side is showing signs. Like I'm getting wear here. I'm going to replace this. This is totally trash now. It's actually wearing into the seat. The seat was pretty bad when we got it, but not this bad. These doors still open and close all right. I did replace these rubbers, the rubber dampeners, but I can show you the adjustment. They scrape the body now. Like I said, these seat covers still fit, but they're not as good as they fit when 5 years ago. I'll take this down now. As far as the gauges and stuff, the air conditioner still works. This Kenwood stereo still works.
Talk to your bank. There's help.
All these lights work. I just replaced this drive light, the bulb under this. There's a video on that. 272,704 kilometers. Still original engine, still original transmission. I can show you the engine. I got asked on a Facebook question. Is it worth replacing the engine on one of these if they picked it up for $1,000? I've seen these engines at the wreckers for $2,000. I guess if you can put the engine in yourself, it might be worth it. If you have to pay somebody $1,200 or $1,500 to put it in as well, you might be pushing it. This battery is probably about the third battery I've had in the last 5.5 years. It's a second century battery. The radiator was replaced when we bought it, probably the second week we had it replaced. It hasn't chewed any coolant at all. Still coolants really well. These lights are the lights I just replaced. They're probably about 3 months old now. They still look good. Trying to think what other problems I've had. The brakes are still holding up well. I don't know how many cabin filters I've done, probably, you know, four or five over the last 5.5 years. I usually try to replace it about once a year. The windscreen, it's got some little chips and cracks in it over there. What I do recommend is, if you can get parts, try and get them, because as it gets to 20 years old, it's going to get harder to find parts for this thing. So, like little parts, like this is missing. Can't get it at the Toyota dealer anymore. They just don't make it. It's kind of similar, like it's got one on this side, this one's missing. So if you can find out the wreckers, pick it up. The seats still slide well. The seat belts still retract. There's no leaks, no engine leaks. I can see seepage of oil on this front cover, but it doesn't leak enough to drip on the driveway or anything. I have had to replace this top cover. But stuff that I'm amazed at is like hoses, and you know, they're still not brittle or anything. They still got some flex to them. The windscreen wipers, I can show you where they tend to crack from the plastic. Right here, this is pretty brittle plastic. Notice that when you're pulling them up. Try not to hold anything on that, they'll crack. The mirrors, this side seems to be all right. The other side, it's got a crack in it. Obviously hit something. Still rides really smooth. Since I did that suspension last year, haven't had any problems with the leaking shocks anymore. I have had people ask about this back fan for the back air conditioning. This one still works. I haven't had any problems with it. It still blows cold, I can show you that. So you still got air out of all the 4 vents. There's no squeaking from the fan like there was in the front motor before we had to clean it out. This is where your fan is for the back motor. All the power points for like the power outlets, like this is a 120 volt or 120 watt 12 volt, that still works really well. The lights back here work. We had 7 people in it over the weekend. Everybody was comfortable. So what that is. The headliner's good too. It's not dropping down or anything. Stays in. No rust anywhere. If you've got any other questions on this car, leave them in the comments below. I'll try and answer them as good as I can. I plan on keeping this for a long time. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below.